Alrighty, so hey guys, this is KMCers. I'm Kiersten and welcome back to another true crime video. So today we're going to be talking about Carlee Russell and her weird disappearance kidnapping story. So let's just jump right into this. So Carlee Nicole Russell was born on July 22nd of 1997. She was 25 years old at the time and from Hoover, Alabama. Her parents are Telia and Carlos, and she does have a brother. Now, let's talk about the incident. July 13th of 2023, Carlee left Birmingham Spa that she had worked at, and she had stole a various of items from there. She stopped at the Mediterranean restaurant and made a snack run to Target before she was driving home. At 9:34 p.m., she was driving home. She said she saw a toddler walking on the side of the road and decided to call 911 about it. She told the dispatcher that she had pulled over to help the child, and during that time she ended up hanging up with the dispatcher, and she called her brother's girlfriend and kept her on the phone while she went to go check on the kid. During this time, brother's girlfriend heard her scream and traffic noises, and she just disappeared. She left her phone, like everything. Now let's talk about the investigation. So police found her car and it was still running at the time. They found her wig and belongings scattered all on the ground nearby. Her purse and food were still in the vehicle, but the spa items and her Target snacks were completely gone. There was no sign of Carlee or this toddler. Video from the interstate showed that Carlee was flashing her emergency lights right around the time that she stopped her car to call 911. Witnesses say that they saw a gray vehicle with a light man standing near what they believe was Carlee's car. But the video was super grainy and it didn't even show any of that, so they're not sure that that was real. 911 didn't receive any other calls about a toddler wandering on the interstate, so Carlee disappeared, and her disappearance gained national news. On social media, people that were unrelated to this whole case offered a $20,000 reward, and within one day it had bumped up to $60,000 trying to find her. Her photo was pretty much everywhere. I remember I was on TikTok and I saw this person, which I now know is her father, made a TikTok asking people to share her story, get her face out there, and help find his daughter. Police and other agencies began to search for her, and 2 days after her disappearance, she returned to her family home all alone on July 15th. Carlee ended up going to the hospital for evaluation, and her family said that she was in pretty rough shape, and probably not completely good mentally, just due to like trauma state and everything. So Carlos, Carlee's dad, said that she was having some bad nightmares and moments that made her super afraid, especially loud noises. In July 19th, the police chief did have an interview with Carlee, and during this interview, Carlee had stated that a man had taken her into the woods while she was approaching this toddler. The man ended up picking her up, made them go over a fence, and forced her into a car. She did end up going into an 18-wheel truck. She believed it was a man and woman based on voices. She said she only ever saw the man, and she did hear a baby crying. She said that she did escape the truck, but she was caught and taken into a car and then taken to a house. Her kidnappers forced her to get undressed, but she said no sexual or physical harm was done to her. They just wanted to take nude photos of her. She was a nursing student at the time, I believe, so she was very concerned that these photos would get out there. After one night, they ended up putting her into a car, and that's when she escaped. She ran into the woods and eventually found her house, but police say that they can't even verify this story at all. There is no evidence of a missing toddler. There was no 911 calls based on this missing toddler. And while Carlee was on the phone with dispatchers, she would be following the toddler at a distance of 6 football fields. And to think that a 3 to 4 year old toddler is just walking barefoot on the side of the road is just really hard to even understand to begin with, because most toddlers are just gonna run no matter if there's safety or not. They're not gonna think about the traffic going across the road. They're just gonna do it. And so it just, there was holes in the story that started to come about. They did find her internet search history, which was a few days before this disappearance, and it was strange to say the least. She ended up looking up if people have to pay for an Amber Alert and how old maximum age do you have to be to have an Amber Alert. She looked up how to take money out of a register without getting caught, a one-way bus ticket to Birmingham to Nashville on the same date that she was going to go missing. She Googled the movie Taken, which is about a father looking for his daughter after kidnappers put her into a human trafficking ring. Police did try to have another interview with Carlee, but at this time Carlee refused to talk to them. And after all the negative comments that Birmingham Spa got, Carlee did get fired. She was getting bullied online at this time, and her boyfriend at the time, Tomar, defended her through and through. On July 24th, Carlee ended up admitting to her attorney that parts of her story were not true. In a statement to her attorney, she said there was no kidnapping, she did not see a toddler on the side of the road, she did not leave the Hoover area, she wanted to acknowledge that her actions and apologize about her actions to the public, volunteers, the Hoover's police department, other agencies that helped, and her family and friends. She said that she actually just disappeared because she got into an argument with her boyfriend. And Tomar posted on Instagram how Carlee's actions created very much hurt, confusion, dishonesty, and that he and his family were disgusted by the news that it was all made up. He was blindsided by her actions, and he referred to her as his ex-girlfriend, so it is believed that they broke up. July 28th, the Hoover police announced that Carlee herself was turned herself in and was being charged with 2 misdemeanors. So now let's talk about the trial. So Carlee was charged with filing a false police report and filing false statements to law enforcement. She could face each of these charges of a penalty of less than a year in prison and a $6,000 fine. Carlee was released on a $2,000 bail. On October 11th, 2023, she entered a plea deal of not guilty on both charges. The court judge found her guilty, recommending no more than 1 year of jail time and over $18,000 of fees. Carlee did get the option to appeal this whole sentencing, and they did decide to appeal it due to the fact that they did not believe that she deserved jail time. But she did make this statement in March to the judge, and I will read it to you guys. It says, "I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress. I absolutely regret my decision, and in hindsight, wish I had cried for help in a totally different manner. My prayer is that I will be extended grace and be given the opportunity to redeem who I truly am and restore the positively estranged character that I have worked so hard to obtain for the 25 years of my life prior to this incident." So in March of 2024, she pled guilty to the 2 counts of filing false police reports and was sentenced to 1 year of probation and 100 hours of community service. She was ordered to pay over $18,000 in fees. Now, let's talk about the aftermath real quick. So she has spoken out for the first time since her whole debacle incident that on her 27th birthday she made a post on social media, and this is what it said. I wasn't going to make a birthday post, but I would be remiss not to publicly acknowledge the goodness God has shown me. He not only allowed me to see another year, but he changed the trajectory of my life from the negative place I was in this time last year. To those who have been there for me, your kindness and support have meant the world to me. Whether it was a text, call, direct message on social media, post, prayer, thoughtful gifts, or words of encouragement, nothing was too little, and each helped me to fight to live another day. Thank you sincerely for helping me find the light in the darkest of moments. As I step into the next year of life, I am filled with hope and optimism towards continuing to overcome challenges, cherishing those who cherish me, and embracing the future and God's plan of my life with an open heart and mind. So she sounds like she's doing a lot better and working on herself, which is always a good thing. So yeah, that is the story. She made this whole story up. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below what case I should do next, and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that bell notification so you're notified when we post every single Tuesday and occasionally on Fridays when we feel like it. This is KMC whatever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.